You're about to paste something into an AI, a contract, a medical result, your company's numbers, your own private journal entry. Your finger hovers over enter. And here's the question almost nobody stops to ask. Where does that actually go? Who ends up able to see it? And does the AI quietly learn from it so that a piece of your private life becomes part of a machine that millions of strangers talk to? This is the episode to actually understand, because the answer is not one simple yes or no. It changes depending on which AI you use, which plan you're on, and one setting most people never touch. So we're going to make it clear. This is Under the Hood, Advanced AI, explained so it actually clicks. And today, the one that matters most, your data. Everything comes down to two questions. Question 1, does the AI train on your data? Meaning, do your words get folded into the model's future brain? And question 2, who can see your data? Is anyone, human or machine, keeping it, reading it, storing it? Two questions, train and see. Hold on to those, because every privacy decision you'll ever make about AI is really just those two questions wearing different clothes. Let's take the first one. Does it train on your data? Here's what that phrase actually means, because it sounds abstract and it isn't. When a model is trained, it studies mountains of text and absorbs the patterns. That's how it learned to write in the first place. Training on your data means your conversations get added to that study pile for the next version. Your words stop being just a message and become a tiny part of what the model knows. And the fear people have, a real one, is that something you typed could, in some form, echo back out to someone else later. So whether an AI trains on your chats is not a small detail. It's the difference between talking to a tool and feeding a machine. Now, the single most important fact in this entire episode, the answer splits in two. There's a consumer world and a business world, and they are governed by completely different rules. The consumer world is your free account and your personal paid subscription, the $20 a month plan you signed up for yourself. The business world is the company account, the enterprise plans, the team plans, the developer tools your employer pays for and signs a contract over. Same logo on the screen, utterly different treatment of your data underneath. Get these two mixed up, and every assumption you make will be wrong. So let's actually go through the big four one by one, because, and this surprised even me while checking, they do not all behave the same way. This is straight from each company's own policy pages. Start with ChatGPT from OpenAI. On the consumer tiers, Free plus Pro, your conversations are used to improve the models by default. By default. It's on unless you turn it off. And you can turn it off. It's a single switch buried in settings under data controls called Improve the Model for Everyone. Flip that off and new chats stop being used for training. But if you never open that menu, and almost nobody does, then yes, by default, your personal ChatGPT conversations have been feeding the next model. On the business side though, ChatGPT Business, ChatGPT Enterprise, and the Developer API, OpenAI does not train on your inputs or outputs. That's the default there. No switch to find. Now Claude from Anthropic, and this is the interesting exception. On Claude's consumer plans, training is opt-in, not opt-out. Per Anthropic's own privacy policy, they use your chats to improve Claude only if you choose to allow it, or if a conversation gets flagged for a safety review. In other words, the default leans the other way from ChatGPT. And there's a nice touch. Incognito chats are never used for training, even if you've switched the setting on. On the commercial side, Team, Enterprise, and the API, your data isn't used for training, same as the others. Then Gemini from Google. And here's where you want to pay attention, because it goes a step further than just training. On the consumer Gemini apps, your activity is used to improve Google's models by default. That's the keep activity setting. And it's on out of the box. But here's the part people don't realize. A subset of conversations are reviewed by actual humans, Google's reviewers, to help improve the service. And those human-reviewed chats are kept for up to 3 years, and they are not deleted when you delete your activity. You can turn future review off in your Gemini app's activity settings. But if you have a work or school Google account, different terms apply. So on Consumer Gemini, who can see it has a very concrete answer, possibly a person, and possibly for 3 years. And fourth, Microsoft 365 Copilot, which is a slightly different animal because it's fundamentally a business product wired into your company's email, files, and chats. Microsoft's official position is blunt and repeated all over their documentation. Your prompts, your responses, and the data Copilot pulls from your organization are not used to train the foundation models. Full stop. It runs inside Microsoft's own service boundary on Azure, not the public version of OpenAI. Your data stays inside your organization's tenant. It's encrypted, and it carries the big enterprise compliance certifications: GDPR, ISO, HIPAA. Copilot's whole pitch is enterprise-grade privacy by default. So step back and look at what we just found. 4 AIs, and they genuinely differ. ChatGPT and Gemini train on your consumer chats by default. Claude does not, unless you allow it. And every single one of them stops training on the business and enterprise tiers, which leads to the first thing that'll actually protect you. Do not assume. Do not assume they all work the same, and do not assume the safe default. Go into the settings of whichever one you use and look, because the default might be working against you, and it takes about 30 seconds to change. And this is exactly where the biggest real-world leak happens. And it's not a hacker. It's an ordinary, well-meaning employee. It has a name now: Shadow AI. Someone at work is on a deadline. They open their personal ChatGPT, the free one, the one with training on by default, and they paste in a customer list, or a chunk of unreleased source code, or the confidential deck, just to get a quick summary. No malice at all. But in that one paste, company data crossed out of the company's protected walls and into a consumer account the company doesn't control and can't claw back. This is happening constantly, in every industry, right now. A famous early example: employees at a major electronics company pasted internal source code into ChatGPT, and the company had to ban the tool internally. The lesson isn't AI is dangerous. It's that the gap between the consumer account and the enterprise account is a door people walk through without noticing, and everything sensitive that goes through it is gone. And there's a subtler leak path hiding inside the AI's own helpful features. Memory. When you let a chatbot remember you across conversations, you've now created a little standing file of your details that persists. Great for convenience, but it means your secrets don't vanish when the chat ends. They accumulate. Connectors. When you plug an assistant into your email, your drive, your calendar so it can be more useful, you've also handed it a pipe into all of that data. And now its privacy terms, not just yours, decide what happens to what it pulls. None of this is a reason to panic. It's a reason to notice. Every convenience you switch on is also a door, and you should know it's open. Okay, question 1 was, does it train? Now question 2, which is quieter but just as important. Who can see it? Because here's a trap. They don't train on my data is not the same as no one can see my data. Those are 2 different promises. A company can absolutely promise never to train on your chats, and still store every one of them on a server, and still have staff who can, under some circumstances, look at them. 3 things live under this second question. The first is retention, how long they keep your conversations. Most services store your chat history by default, partly so you can see it, partly for safety and abuse monitoring. That storage has a time window, and it varies. The second is human review, the uncomfortable one. To catch abuse and to improve quality, a slice of conversations across most of these services can be looked at by real people. We just saw Google spell out 3 years for reviewed Gemini chats. The third is the strongest protection you can ask for, and it has a name: zero data retention. On some enterprise and API arrangements, you can get a setup where your content is processed to answer you and then simply not stored at all. Nothing kept, nothing to leak later. That's the gold standard, and it mostly lives in the business world. So put the 2 questions together and a single clean rule falls out. The most useful thing in this whole episode. The line that actually protects you is the line between consumer and enterprise. Think of it this way. A consumer AI account is a diary you're writing in a coffee shop. It's convenient, it's right there, it's mostly fine. But by default, it might be read to improve the service, and it might be remembered, and on some of them, it might train the model. An enterprise account is a conversation with your lawyer under contract. There's a signed agreement that says, we will not train on this. It stays inside your boundary. It meets these compliance standards. And here's exactly who can and cannot touch it. That contract. That's the whole difference. It's not that the enterprise AI is smarter, it's that the enterprise AI comes with a promise in writing. And this is where it stops being abstract and starts being about where your data physically sits. In the enterprise world, the serious deployments don't just send your data off to some public chatbot. The model comes to you. Through services like Amazon Bedrock, Google's Vertex AI, and Microsoft's Azure, a company can run a top model inside its own cloud walls, so sensitive data never leaves the perimeter it already trusts. That's exactly what Microsoft 365 Copilot does. It uses Azure's version of these models, and your prompts and files stay inside your organization's tenant. The data doesn't travel to the AI. The AI is brought under guard to the data. That covers the big, trusted names. But most AI tools you'll actually be handed at work aren't ChatGPT or Copilot. There's some smaller startup's app with AI powered in the tagline, wired on top of somebody's model. So how do you tell if one of those is safe to feed real data? There's a short checklist, and you don't need to be a lawyer to run it. First, is there a data processing agreement, a DPA? That's the contract that legally binds them on how they handle your data. A serious business tool has one. A weekend project does not. Second, do they hold a recognized security certification? SOC 2? ISO 27001? That means an outside auditor actually checked their practices instead of them just promising. Third, if you're in healthcare, will they sign a BAA, a business associate agreement? No BAA, no protected health information, that's the law, not a preference. And fourth, where does the data physically go and do they train on it? If a tool can't answer those 4 questions clearly, that is your answer. Don't put anything sensitive into it. And there's an option most people forget exists entirely, the one that sidesteps this whole problem. Run the model on your own machine. Open models now exist that are small enough to run on a decent laptop, completely offline. Nothing you type leaves the device. No server, no retention, no human review, no training. Because there's no round trip at all. It won't be as powerful as the giant frontier models in the cloud, but for genuinely sensitive work on a single machine, it physically never left my computer, is a level of privacy no cloud contract can match. For the most sensitive tasks, local is the quiet superpower. One more angle, because it flips the question around. We've been asking what happens to the data you put in, but there's a second privacy question hiding on the other side. What were these models trained on in the first place? The answer is a huge sweep of the public internet, which may well include things you wrote years ago, your public posts, your comments, your name. That's a different and thornier debate, tangled up in copyright lawsuits and new regulations like Europe's GDPR and its AI Act. You can't easily pull your old public words back out of a trained model, but it's worth knowing that AI and your privacy runs in both directions. The data you hand it today and the data it already absorbed about the world, including maybe a little of you, long before you ever typed a word. So what do you actually do with all this? Here's the playbook. 5 moves. Move 1, and if you remember nothing else, remember this. Never paste anything you genuinely regret into a personal or free chatbot. Not client secrets, not someone's medical information, not your company's unreleased numbers, not passwords, not source code you don't own. Once it's in a consumer account with default settings, you have handed away your control over it. The convenience is not worth the headline. Move 2. For anything sensitive, use the business or enterprise tier, the one with the contract that says your data isn't trained on and stays in your boundary. That single choice flips almost every risk we've talked about. Move 3. Go turn off training on your personal accounts right now, because you can, and it's fast. On ChatGPT, settings, data controls, improve the model for everyone, off. On Claude, privacy settings, the help improve Claude option, off. On Gemini, your Gemini apps activity, turn keep activity off. 30 seconds each, and your future chats stop feeding the machine. Move 4. Assume storage. Even with training off, treat anything you type into a consumer chatbot as something that could be stored for a while, and in rare cases, seen by a human for safety. That mental model will keep you honest about what you share. And move 5. Know the bright line. Regulated and irreplaceable data. Health records, financial details, personal information about other people, legal documents, anything under a compliance rule does not belong in a consumer AI chat, ever. That's not caution. That's the category that turns a convenient shortcut into a genuine legal problem. So, 3 things to take with you. 1. Every AI privacy question is really 2 questions. Does it train on your data? And who can see it? Ask both every time. 2. The line that protects you is consumer versus enterprise. Personal and free accounts are a diary in a coffee shop. Business and enterprise accounts are a conversation under contract. For anything sensitive, you must be on the enterprise side of that line. And 3, do not assume. The vendors genuinely differ, and the default is often working against you. ChatGPT and Gemini train on consumer chats out of the box. Claude doesn't unless you allow it. Every one of them stops on the business tier. The single most powerful thing you can do today is open the settings and look for yourself.
Your data is the one thing in the AI era you can't get back once you've given it away.
The good news is that keeping it is not complicated. It's 2 questions, 1 line, and about a minute in a settings menu. This was AI Actually,